Hi everybody, welcome to this week's question and answer video. Happy Monday, hope your weekend went well. I'm answering questions from your guys' questions from last week's video. Go down below in the comment section, ask me anything you want. Please tell us your location, and if you could, please consider supporting a petition I started, Stop Narcissistic Online Bullying. It's to save young people's lives, being that this is the #1 cause of them taking their lives, and it's massively increasing. So please consider signing it. Thank you very much. Let's get started with the questions. Lots of questions. Sometimes, and keep asking me questions. Keep asking me all you want. Sometimes they're so long, I try to get to the question. I can't make this video 2.5, 3 hours long. 45 minutes is usually good enough. If I miss your questions, if I misunderstand, if you misunderstand me, keep asking me. Okay. And even if I answer your question and there's more to it, keep asking me more about that situation. Okay. Thank you. Here is Healing Family from California. Hello. The Rodriguez family. Please. Oh, and you're saying please sign the petition. Thank you. Your question is, anyway, can you please define empathy and sympathy in your best definition and examples? Yeah. So sympathy, think of it as crying with you, celebrating with you. Okay, a little bit more than empathy. I actually care, I love you, and I want to feel some of the same feelings you have and with your experience that you're having. I want to have that experience with you. That may be a good way to say it. When it comes down to empathy, there's more than one form. There's at least cognitive empathy and emotional empathy. There may be even compassionate empathy. But cognitive empathy is like logic. We tend to think straight right here in front of us is logical thinking, and out here is emotional in the peripheral. Cognitive empathy is, yes, I know that hurts you. I've been hurt before, so I know what pain feels like. Okay? Empathy is, I can actually feel what you're feeling. I can feel it too. I not just look at your face and say that's sadness and not care. Doesn't affect me. But the other one, emotional, was it does. I actually get some emotions off how you're feeling. They say even sociopaths have empathy. I would imagine it's more of the logical, cognitive empathy than the emotional empathy. Although sociopaths have a wide range of emotion just like we do. But I would say psychopaths do not have emotional empathy at all. Some may even have a lot of trouble with cognitive empathy. I don't know how much they sympathize with anyone. I think what's really important is things like compassion and remorse. I want people in my life to have those qualities too. Very important. Did I answer that for you? Let me know. Thank you. Sumatura, which I think you said your name is Martin. Just saying, this is one of the nicest comment section on YouTube. Usually everyone is respectful and listens to what others have to say. It gives me a bit of hope. That's nice. It is. A nice comment section, a safe place. Hi, David Susan from Minnesota. Hello, Susan. I recently opened up to some family about my dark past. For them, it was how did this happen right in front of our eyes and we didn't see it. For me, it was regurgitating trauma. I was hoping for some kind of relief or release. I know you are big on talk therapy. I totally understand it works for many. Where is the balance? You are a major blessing. Thank you, Susan. Now, I'm not quite sure what you're asking me here. I can only see a balance of directly talking to family about my trauma or therapy. Is that the balance? If we need help, we've got to get that help. And we can't just get part of it, some of it. We need all of it. Every bit of help that we need, we must find that help. A little bit less than that could even be damaging. If you have grown up in a family that has traumatized you, there's a lot of things we need to learn, Susan, and it's how to communicate with people, right? How to have healthy boundaries. Talking to someone who traumatized me in my childhood, talking to them about it could keep re-traumatizing me, right? So I would step out and away from your family, Susan. Give professional therapy a chance to heal from that stuff without your family, on your own with support though, and then go back to your family more calm, with more understanding, more healing you've already had, and maybe get some of that final healing with them. I help people do that. It works. Is that what you're talking about, Susan? Can you please let me know? Because I don't know if I even understand your question correctly. Thank you. Hey, mate, Dale from Australia again. Hi, Dale. I learnt a word today, rumination. I hope you explain this in more detail. A deep thought about something. I think about it as a catchy song getting stuck in my head. But as now I'm discovering the narcissistic and BPD behavior that I have endured from my ex-partner is ruminating constantly in my head. I know what she has done. It's been chaotic. She is chaotic. How do I get it out of my head? Apart from my kids with her, I don't want anything to do with her. P.S. Got the tequila info. I hope to one day put one or two in front of you, my friend. Amigo. Me too. That'd be great. Thanks, Dale. Okay, so I can't dive all the way into every little thing. All this stuff is complex. This is too. You think of healing from something that was traumatic, right? Yes, we need to feel better, but we've got to learn and understand what happened, and we've got to learn how to make sure that doesn't happen again. I think of two parts of us that need to heal. And one is maybe our heart, and maybe one is our brain or our mind. This thing is here to protect us. It needs to understand how to do that, especially with trauma, right? If not, we could be hyper vigilant and see danger in every single corner and every single person. And so we need to make sense of what happened, or our brain gets stuck on that. It's hard to move forward unless we do that. And we want to close emotions and express them and feel better and also understand and make sense of what happened. One of the biggest, if not the biggest symptom from emotional trauma is self-doubt. God, could I have done better? Was it my fault? Should I have done this? Will I ever be loved like that again? Will I ever have a relationship that great and intense? Well, hopefully not, because it traumatized you. So, rumination, obsessive thoughts. Yeah, repeated obsessive thoughts, usually when things start to slow down at the end of the day, maybe. And so, we need to make sense and understand these and close our emotions from these experiences. That's why talking and writing are so beneficial. And then at some point, hey, these don't serve me anymore, right? We may still be stuck on these things after we've expressed our emotions, after we feel better, and after we've made sense of these. Now what do we do? Just a quick exercise. Take a piece of paper, write down that entire obsessive thought, because this thing doesn't tell us facts. You do that. You arrive at all the true facts of your thoughts. If you can't, get help. If you're coming up with negative and more stuff that's making you think more, get help. That's what help is for. This is deep psychological trauma. Write it all down. Come to the facts of it and say, I no longer want this. This no longer serves me, and give it a name. Call it something. And we close this file and we name it. And from now on, this thought will keep coming back, and that's okay. That's okay. But we're just not allowed to open it again. Don't open that file. We already know. We already know what it is, and we already know the facts. If we need to tell each other the facts again real quick. But all we're allowed to do is call it by name. There is that blank thought again. Oh no, whatever. Try to distract yourself and do something else. The process of understanding it and arriving at the facts, especially with somebody else that you trust, that knows what they're doing, will really help you. Okay? It'll take some time. It's a part of the process. I can't imagine anybody not experiencing some rumination after emotional trauma. But you'll be okay, Dale. Everybody can heal from this, and that is a part of it. Thank you. William from Alberta, Canada. Hello, William. You often talk about how you've fully healed from past traumas and negative experiences in your life. Could you go into a little more detail about what being healed means to you? What does being healed look like in a person's life? I assume from time to time your mind thinks about people who have caused you past trauma. Does being fully healed mean that you no longer have any negative emotions tied to that person and the trauma that caused? Yeah, man. I mean, it's like this huge, humongous experience that's weighted me down, that's in my mind and in my heart, and I can't stop thinking and talking about it. I don't do any of it anymore. I don't think about it anymore. If for some reason something was suggestive or somebody asked me about it, and so I'm thinking about it, it's so small now to something that's even hard to remember. Really, it's hard to recall a lot of my traumas now. I'm writing a book, and thank goodness I've written a lot of it down, so I can recall it. We aren't here to be perfect. I think we're healing from something all the time. So it's not like we got to be perfect before we date again or things like this. And I'm not telling you that I'm perfect. Maybe I'm not perfectly healed. As far as I know, I am. I fully understand my experiences. I don't know if there's any more to understand about it. And I feel a lot better about them. I would never, ever give them back or let anyone take them back. Never. To see my abusers again, I could literally see them and not care. No emotional reaction at all. I don't wish good or bad on them. I just don't care. If they wanted my forgiveness, sure. I just don't care. But I think the understanding of it is just vitally important, like I was talking about with ruminating. Do you understand your experiences? You know, a lot of you guys coming out of this and start understanding for the first beginnings of what's happened to you over the months, years, and we're trying to talk to other people about it and tell them, and they're just like, "Oh my God, dude, what are you talking about? They can't understand. Nobody gets it." I promise, the better you get it, others will. When you explain it to them with full understanding, it's easier. They have a tendency to understand it a little better. If they care too. You know, a lot of people just don't care and they're not trying to understand it. Many different things, William, can be associated with this. I know who I am so much better now. So much better. No doubts at all. People can't come along and ruffle my feathers and get me emotional and change who I am at all. Not only do I know who I am, but I live true to who I am. I'm stable. I make good decisions. I know what my meaning and my purpose are. There's so much to it. I have better relationships now. I still see and meet toxic people, but I don't let them in my life anymore. They can't hurt me anymore. I'm not scared anymore. I know how to have a healthy relationship now with myself and other people. Things like this, William. Things like this are what we look for, yeah. But we aren't here to be perfect, yeah. We will always have problems and we can't fix them all. We just try to become better versions of ourselves. Did I answer that for you, William? Let me know. Thanks. Emily from South Africa. Hi, David. Do you perhaps cover the 10 things that helped you most in healing? I can't find my previous comment. I'll give you 10 things that help you heal. Talking. Well, that's, you know, I think we can't heal from emotional trauma without some kind of professional help. Writing. 2 best forms of expression. Raising your heart rate every day. Don't have to exercise or work out hard. Meditating. Cooking, creating, like artwork. Gardening, sleeping. Increase consciousness, self-awareness, know who you are, learn this, know this very well, and self-care. Okay, Emily? Let me know if there's any things you don't get or something you want to know about those. Thank you. And you have another question. How can I have a better relationship with myself? I usually change myself according to other people and Fawn. So we know who we are. I stick my hand up a lot in my videos, and I'm telling you there's at least, I mean, there's so many different parts to who people are, but there's 5 major parts that we need to know as well as we possibly can, and we try to increase this all day, every day, constantly, never stop. And once we know the 5 major parts of who we are, what we emotionally need, what we want, how we feel, what we value, and what I believe in, and we know these things very well, and we live as true to them as we possibly can by having our needs met, knowing how, not being in relationships where they aren't, knowing what we want, working towards this every day, knowing exactly how we feel and how to make ourselves feel better, knowing what we morally value and how to stick true to that always, no matter what, and knowing what we believe in and living true to that. Those are just some starts, okay? Better relationship with yourself is start talking to yourself. You know, just like every relationship with other people, we need to know who they are and they need to know who we are really well. That's emotional connection, autonomy, awareness, attention. right? Knowing who somebody is and then communicating. What's better than that? I mean, right? In a relationship with somebody. That's why there's so many misunderstandings with people that we don't know very well, just getting to know. We fight and don't like each other, co-workers, but people in our life that we know very, very, very well tends to work out better, especially if we have good communication. So know who you are and communicate with yourself really, really well. Start knocking off those 10 things of healing. Yeah, let's heal from our past. Know who we are today and know what we want and need tomorrow. Okay. Thank you, Emily. Victoria from the Bay Area. This Thanksgiving was a little hard. A family member just informed me she no longer wants to fight her cancer. She's choosing to no longer take her medicine. I'm trying so hard to accept the situation. Do you have any suggestions how to handle the situation? How sad, Victoria. I'm really sorry. That's awful. It's awful and it's natural, isn't it? And we just have to try to start accepting this natural process of life that every person's going to go through, all of us. You eventually, Victoria. We start grieving. We start preparing for this loss. If there's anything you want this person to know, tell them. Tell them now and don't wait. Start taking care of yourself, Victoria. If some of this is too much for you, then we create some emotional barriers, okay? And you can't do everything this person wants you to do, and it doesn't matter just because they're dying. We still have to have our own self-awareness, our own boundaries, and take care of ourselves, okay? There's no wrong or right thing to do, Victoria. All that matters is how you feel. So start preparing yourself for this loss, okay? Tell them everything you want them to know. Enjoy the time that you have left with them. And if it's too much, take a step back sometimes. Okay? Talk to somebody about this. And prepare for it. And then start grieving when it happens. Healthy. Okay? I'm sorry, Victoria. I'm sorry. Sad. Nodak? I think it's your Nodak Savage. David, I don't hear you talk about attachment styles. Oh, you're from Phoenix, Arizona. Thanks for telling us. I don't hear talk much about attachment styles. Issues that I'm having are, I truly feel my partner has an anxious attachment style and I have a secure attachment style. We've been together for about 1.5 years. There are times where she brings something odd out of the blue, usually involving other women. And over time, it caused me to behave similar to avoidant attachment style. These things are usually baseless and don't really make sense to me. I'll be clear that there has never been an infidelity on my end, and I believe there's never been on her end either. It's very confusing, and I've dealt with borderline and narcopath partner in the past. It's nothing similar to that at all, but I do know that what is happening is a form of toxic cycle nonetheless. And I'll tell you just from that, I'm not telling you what your attachment style is. I'm just telling you that that is not secure attachment style. Attachment styles, to me, just aren't super important. I'll answer anyone's questions about it. I don't concern myself too much with it. It can be good to know. Attachment styles aren't bad or good or healthy or unhealthy. All it is the way that we felt the first time we attached to someone. As we attach. It takes a little while. In every relationship, even when we're born, it takes a while to attach to our parents. And as we attach to our caretakers, whoever was providing care for us, emotional care only, whoever's providing that emotional care, however we attach, however we feel, whatever our body's doing when that happened, this is how we're going to feel as we attach again in adulthood. These can change, okay? Most people today are becoming unsure, anxious attachment style. That's also what most victims are of narcissistic abuse. Kind of makes sense. It's not a lot of attention, not complete neglect, kind of in the middle, but hit and miss. Mom was there sometimes, mom was there not sometimes. And I get a little anxious and unsure. And this can look like later we have relationships where we might stick around when someone's not very committed. Someone is kind of gone sometimes, doesn't answer their phone for a couple days. We wait around for them, we accept it, we let them come back. Basically, we accept feeling anxious and unsure in a relationship. And that's the only way that we can be with a, what did you call, narcopath? Is that what you said? I can't remember what you said. with a borderline and narcopath partner in the past, and then you have this relationship you describe now, that is not secure. Secure attachment style means that when I attached to my parents, they met all my emotional needs and made me feel very secure, unconditionally, no matter what. That person will never have a relationship with a narcopath or a borderline. Never, ever, ever. And these are some of the people that do not understand what you're telling them about your experiences with a borderline or narcopath. They don't need to know. They learned what they needed to learn. They were given what they needed. We weren't. That's why we're anxious. You have a child and they need 100 different things and you only give them 10. That makes them unsure, makes them anxious. Like this. Pretty obvious, pretty simple, right? This is not necessarily why we stay, though, in massive, abusive, toxic, traumatic relationships. It's not just our attachment style. It's our entire childhood, not just the moment we attached. It's also at 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 years old. All those matter too. And if there's a lot of neglect and a lot of abuse and a lot of trauma, that's what's keeping you in these major toxic relationships. But so if you want to know what your attachment style, go look into it, read into it more, ask a professional that knows what they're talking about. Okay? That's why I just don't talk about it too much, because it does not define everything or our relationships or who we are. It's not good or bad or healthy or unhealthy. It's not something we need to work on. It's not something, it's something that can change for sure. What we would like to have is we grew up with and formed an anxious attachment style, and we probably will have some not very good relationships, but we find this out, we identify the problems, we heal from this stuff, and then we start having secure attachment relationships, and then we have a more secure attachment style where we don't feel anxious and unsure in relationships anymore, and which means we don't wait around and not know, are they coming back? Are they cheating on me? Are they, Did that help? Let me know. Thanks. All right, next one. Kosmin from Romania. Hello. Do PPDs or the Clan B, Cluster B, seem to be more into the paranormal stuff, or is it just me? Or is there another explanation? Though I'll explain below. Something that makes me believe she's got something extra aside BPD. So I'm just going to answer your question. If you want to know more about this, Kosmin, about your example, let me know. But yes, it's not just you. It's called being very highly suggestive. Very. An unstable person is more easily suggestive person, just period. And histrionics and borderlines and sociopaths and narcissists get really, real into dark things and paranormal and astrology. Now, this always makes someone upset. If you're into astrology, I'm not saying you're cluster B, okay? I'm not even talking about who makes up the most of it. I'm just saying cluster B is very highly suggestive, and they tend to be into what's called magical thinking. And they will literally rule their life by a horoscope or a palm reader. And I'm not saying that horoscopes and palm reading isn't accurate. Okay, I hope I make sense. They're more inclined to magical thinking and being easily highly suggestible. Okay, thank you, Kosman. Emily from South Africa again. Hi, Emily again. If you tell people that what they did made you feel bad, do they actually care? No, not everyone. Most people do. Possibly 20 to 30% will never care, no matter who you are to them, even if you're their own child. But we have to also be reasonable and realistic, right? It's like, is there anybody watching right now that knows anyone in Vietnam? If I asked you, do you really care how people in Vietnam feel? You know, I mean, you're gonna say, yes, I do. I mean, no, come on, we don't. And then this happens in big cities. Bigger cities are more and more narcissistic, right? In a small little tiny town of 50 people, 100 people, I might know all of them, and I actually care about them. I want them all to be happy, and if they need help, I'm going to go over there and help them. As that city grows, yeah, into 1 million, 2 million, 10 million. You care how everyone feels in that city? No, you don't. Trust me, go walk around New York City. Nobody really cares that much. Huh? So, does everybody care how you feel when they make you feel bad? No. No. Most do. Most do, thank goodness. Huh? Okay? We're all so different, Emily. And here's Martin again. Hi, Martin. Hi, David. Thanks for your thoughtful answer, for taking the time to read my very long comment last week. You're welcome. Thank you, Martin. That's what I will do. I'll find a professional here and we'll talk about it. Good. I might write it all on paper, then have the professional to read it because I'm not very good at talking. I'm better at writing. I think the reason why the last time the psychologist didn't believe me is that I didn't express any emotions physically. I just told her my stories like it was some kind of antidote, but didn't display any kind of emotions. So I will write them instead. Maybe I will have more luck. You'll have more luck with a better professional or psychologist. Yeah? Because if you came for me for help, and you're telling me that your past, something in your past has traumatized you, and then you're talking about it with no emotion, disconnected from it, that should be something that they want to dive into more. Yeah. But yeah, do that. Try that. You're worth it. Writing is great. It just helps with consciousness, with clarity. It's a form of expression. Write things down and read them to somebody is wonderful. Thank you, Martin. And Hectic. I think you try to make money with victims, and that is disgusting. You want $99 for 1 hour, and you are not even a psychologist. So this is a classic baiting technique from a toxic person. And the reason I say that is because after my reply, they say, thank you for confirming my bias instead of reacting in a calm and collected manner. Well, I was really calm when I said, I help your victims heal. I can. I can help all the people you victimize for under $100 an hour. How do I know that? Because I have hundreds of victims coming to me, telling me that they paid thousands of dollars for psychologists and therapists. They could not help them at all. And I was able to help them heal. It's beautiful. Hundreds and hundreds. So that's your opinion, right? And you are definitely entitled to think whatever you want, but it's not very informed because you're never my client. So how do you know I'm not worth $99 an hour? Is it just about the degree? I'm confident I can't help you. And I think that because some people can get help from a professional coach like me. Some people need help from a $350 an hour psychologist. That doesn't necessarily mean that they can help you because they charge more, have a degree. I just said that I've helped hundreds that couldn't get help from psychologists and therapists. But I don't think I can help you, but I think you might need a $350 psychologist. How's that? Because I don't think you're on my website looking for coaching and just got so upset that I charge that much. If you think you're worth it, you'd pay it. If you can't afford it, I'm sorry. I offer packages which make it go down quite a bit. But I know you don't want help, and I don't think I can help you. But I have helped many. You're definitely entitled to your opinion. And I stayed calm when I said I can help your victims. And I can. I do. So thank you. I'm trying to get to there. Thank you, all of you. That's it. Please, everybody, ask questions. Let me know what you think. Please consider giving a thumbs up, subscribing to the channel. If you want coaching, you can find me at daviddemars.com. Love yourself first. Have a beautiful week, everybody. Bye-bye.